Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network. This is today's show, All Sports All Plays Real Talk.
Yo.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Oh, yeah. Everything's good, man.
Can you get the thing up? Pull the thing up.
Okay, cool.
Can you pull the okay, there. Today's show is being brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi's Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. All products are $5 special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazzi's accessories.com. The code is 160920. So, as we saw last night, the Heat took a game 3, and they have one more game left, and they move on to the finals. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to jump ship. I say that the Heat wins this one in 5. I'm going to go with Big Shaw on this. Do you agree with my pick?
Man, that's it, man. That game over. It's over, man. I hate to say it. It's over. The Heat too much, man. You know, them guys, they hungry, you know, and if they play the Lakers, it's gonna go to 7 games if they play the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Chris, what are your thoughts on that? The Heat Celtics game.
I mean, I said it from the beginning. I said I had the Heat in 6, and I'm saying to do that. Everybody told me about this firepower Boston has, but the team that has the most firepower is by far the Miami Heat. They have 7-8 guys that can give you double figures. I mean, when I look at the Celtics, Jaylen Brown had 21. You know, Jason Tatum had 28 in the second half. Marcus Smart 10 points, 1 for 8 from the 3-point line. Kemba Walker 20 points, 2 for 8 from the 3-point line. Like Miami, you have Jimmy Butler, you have Bam, you have Dragic, then you have Tyler Hero giving you 37 points, man.
Right.
I mean, and Jay Crowder didn't have his best game. Duncan Robinson didn't have his best game. Kelly Olynyk has been struggling. But listen, you talking about firepower, man. Like, Tyler Hero been a bucket. So for everybody acting all surprised and stuff, you need to wake up. He's been like this since high school. He's been like this since when he was in Kentucky last year. He's a bucket. He's the real deal. And he has dogs around him, and he's a dog himself. You know, I had Miami 6 for the reason that I said they have the most dogs. They have the most firepower. And so I'm not surprised that they won last night. I think even though Boston, they had a chance to win, but they keep messing themselves up. The game is won by rebounds, turnovers, and who shoots better from the free throw line and 3-point line. And Boston was lacking in them categories, so unfortunately they took an L.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie?
You know, it seems like every show that we do, I'm saying the same things because it's true. This Miami team, like I said, is built by dogs. When you have a Pat Riley orchestra built this team, you know, the main guy on his team is Jimmy Butler, and he's not having his best offensive game, but guess what? He's playing good defense and he's doing the things that he needs to do. But you look at a Tyler Hero last night, and like Chris said, you should not be surprised, but he's surprised people in the world that this dude is for real, dropping 37 points. How old is this kid again?
20
years old.
20.
And I mean,
19 or 20. He's young.
Yeah, in the Eastern Conference Finals, the youngest player ever, and just straight balling. I mean, you have a Duncan Robinson. They are snipers. They can shoot that ball. They can shoot the rock. And then you have Bam doing his thing on the inside. Like I said, this team is loaded. But Boston. I'm not gonna count Boston out just yet. I'm not gonna say they win the series. Think they'll win one more game. That's it. Miami's have been throwing the zone out.
Oof.
They've been throwing out the zone out a lot lately.
Yeah.
Boston cannot figure that out. And I think in that second half yesterday, as we can see, Jason Tatum broke out for 28 points. They finally kind of figured out how to, go through the zone because Miami does a lot of zone defense. So if they can figure that out, they might win another game. But I think this Miami team is too loaded.
Yeah, they too
for
loaded.
this Boston team.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, we have the Nuggets and the Lakers. I'm still sticking with my pick. I know they're down 2-1. They won the last matchup. Chris, go.
I have the Lakers winning. I know they won the last matchup. I'll say my reasons why the Lakers lost when we get to that topic soon. But, give credit to this Nuggets team. They're a very good team. I had it going 6 for reasons like this. They can go on runs. They have the role players. Everybody, when they play their role, they're a very good team. But with that being said, do I see LA shooting as bad as they shot game 3 again? No. Do I see LA, having poor performances like this for the first 3 quarters again? No. So I'm banking on LA because they have the better players. LeBron had a great game. He had a triple-double, yet people said it was an off game for him. He had shot 60% from the field, yet people said it was an off game for him. So I just imagine what he's going to do this game. Anthony Davis had a decent game, not great. He's going to step up. And then, what the others going to do with Dwight Howard starting, I think that's going to make a difference. He's going to bother Nikola Jokic from the beginning. I don't think Nikola Jokic likes when Dwight Howard's guarding him because he's a big body. I mean, he's a 3-time defensive player of the year, rebound champion, block champion. Dwight Howard's the truth on the defensive end. So I think him bothering Jokic is probably going to get Jokic into foul trouble early. And I also think Dwight Howard's more aggressive on the offensive end. He's far more talented than JaVale McGee on the offensive end. And when you got a defender like Jokic who's sloppy and he's undisciplined on the defensive end, Dwight Howard can probably get him into some early foul trouble. So I think the addition is starting to Dwight, maybe the Lakers need to, like I said in the beginning of the playoffs, look into playing some of those shooters because shooting is hurting them right now. But with all that being said, Lakers shooting bad, doesn't matter. Lakers in 6. They're going to win this game tonight, be up 3-1. And then after that, it doesn't matter because the Lakers win in this series.
Yeah.
Big Show, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts. I had to put my broom up, so it's not going to be a sweep. But LeBron James and and the crew, they're going to end this series, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
LeBron. I'm not going to. I don't know why he was saying LeBron had an off game. He didn't. LeBron is going to get it done tonight. Him and AD.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to send Denver home.
Yeah.
And they're going to go to the finals, and they have a fight on their hand with the Miami Heat, and it's going to be a great game. But like I said, before, Dwight Howard is the wild card. He's a 3-time defensive player of the year. In Orlando, he's showing us why. The Lakers got him and LeBron James wanted him too. But it's going to be a fight. But I think the Lakers are going to win this game. The whole series basically.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Freddie.
I'm watching the game as we're watching the show, and it's a good sign to me to see Anthony Davis putting work in the post. The other night, I think he was a little bit too aggressive on the 3-point line, in my opinion. He was, and I understand you might have all the confidence after hitting a 3-point game-winning shot, but I thought they settled for too many threes the other night. It seemed like the energy was not there. They did not come with the energy for some reason. But until the fourth quarter when they brought the energy, but when you're down 20, it's hard for any team to come back by 20 and win. Let's just be honest. So they played sloppy. I'm not going to go into the details who I thought made mistakes.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it soon. So
but
we'll talk about it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, but until the next topic, because it's kind of hard to talk about this topic, and it's going to be kind of hard me talking because they're actually playing good right now too. But I'm gonna definitely give my thoughts on this. So that's all I have to say for right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lakers will win the series.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a gentleman sweep. by the way.
Big Shaw, your broom is already broken. You said it was going to be a sweep.
Man,
I did too.
Winning the series at the end of the day.
And I have the Nuggets winning in 7. But if that doesn't happen,
the humble pie.
this is my version of humble pie. And I'm going to tell you right now, in round 1, I predicted that the Milwaukee Bucks were going to take this to Game 7. Even though Bucks did win the series, I'm going to eat this after the show. So moving on, we have so who was, in your opinion, who was to blame for the Lakers for that last for their last loss?
Let me start because I think Chris is ready to.
The truth. I'm ready to say the truth. Numbers don't lie. I don't got none. I'm ready to say the truth.
Honestly, it was not one person. I think this was a collective group.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose somebody, when you have your bigs getting out rebounded, they only had 4 rebounds between JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard. That's unacceptable. You need to crash the boards. You need to rebound. You need to, just like Dwight Howard just did.
Yep.
We needed more of that. That's just unacceptable. Like I said, Anthony Davis, you're a big body. You need to get your big behind in the post. Nobody on this team can guard you. Nobody. I mean, when you put your back to I want them, like, it seems like the Lakers at times do not put him in good position. It's like give him under the goal more than just, giving him at the wing. I mean, I understand he can knock the shot back,
but he's talented enough to score. Like he's unguardable, so he doesn't have to be in the paint for him to be at his best. He can catch at the wing and make moves just as good as him being in the paint. If that's where he's comfortable at, I mean, I see him get 50 points by doing those moves at the wing.
I understand that, but I'm just saying in the beginning of the game, I'm trying to get him easy shots so he can get his rhythm going. Because it seems like when he get a rhythm, then it opens up for a lot of other shots, the mid range. I mean, 3-point shot.
He can get his rhythm anywhere, Freddie.
Yeah,
and to him going off the dribble is if that's where his favorite shot is, then that's what they draw up for him.
Yeah,
now, but it's my turn to say who's to blame.
No, it's still my turn.
Go ahead.
I'm not done.
Oh, I thought you.
But the bigs, they got to step up.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem of the night was, I understand this player shot 60% from the floor in LeBron James, but guess what? He was not nearly as aggressive as he should have been. Let's just be honest with that, Mr. Chris.
Game LeBron.
The first 3 quarters, the first half, the dude did not shoot the ball hardly at all, sir. He was trying to get others involved. And the last other 2 games, we seen him come out, be aggressive, and score about 20 points in the first half. Because the other guys was not shooting the ball well. You're LeBron James. Nobody on this team can guard you. Stop settling for threes. They do not have a shot blocker on this team. You should be able to get everything and anything you want on the inside. He did not get aggressive until the third quarter. And then he went on a little run in the third quarter. Then he exploded in the fourth quarter. Him and Rondo. You got to be aggressive when you're LeBron James. This is the playoff. You see Anthony Davis, you see Danny Green, Kuzma, Rondo, none of them being aggressive. You have to be aggressive. You have to take over. This would be a series for him.
You said Danny Green being aggressive. Go ahead.
He needs to do something because when he shoot, I don't know who's worse, him or Paul George. They're both pretty bad. But KCP, can we get something out of you? Normally, you were shooting like 60% from threes. The 3-pointers the first 2 games. We need to get more out of him.
He had a good game. He shot 40%.
Hey, Kenneth, I'll send you the link. But we need much more out of I think we need more out of LeBron James, and the big man got to step up.
Come on, tripping. Do we have 2 big Shaws on the screen?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we good.
Nate, let me take over, okay? First of all, the last player, well, I won't say the last, but LeBron is far from the blame. Who's to blame? Anthony Davis is 1. JaVale McGee is 2. Danny Green 3. Dwight Howard's in there for the blame. Caruso's in there for the blame. It's Anthony Davis and those others.
What?
Especially those big men. When you have 3 7-footers and you get destroyed on a rebound like this, like they had less than 10 total rebounds. Jamal Murray had more total rebounds than them. More total. The Denver had 44 rebounds compared to the Los Angeles Lakers team, supposed to be one of the best rebounding teams in the game, and they only had 25. That's a big problem. To me, it's not even to me. It's simple basketball knowledge. Especially in the playoffs, when you lose the rebound battle, you have unadvised turnovers, not shooting good from the 3-point and free throw percentage. You're going to lose. So Anthony Davis is to blame. I'm sorry. He had 27 points, but only 3 rebounds. That's terrible. Dwight Howard, you're supposed to be off there getting 7 to 7 off the bench. You're to blame. JaVale McGee, you're the same reason. Then the others, Danny Green. I mean, he has been inconsistent this entire playoffs. And I said from the jump, play your shooters, because if you know they're going to do one thing, they're going to shoot the ball. He shot 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. I'm sorry. 1 for 3 from the 3-point line, 1 for 4 from the field. He only played 20 minutes because he's ineffective right now. Caldwell Pope did his thing. He had 12 points, shot 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. That's good. Rondo 0 for 3. Okay, he's not a shooter, but Alex Caruso 0 for 4. That's a problem.
Since when he's been a shooter? If you're gonna do the same thing for Rondo,
but
Caruso, he's not a shooter.
Way more than Rondo. Everybody knows that.
But he's not a shooter.
Caruso is a better shooter than Rondo. Everybody knows this. Caruso shoots open threes. He goes and takes 3-pointers. Everybody knows 3 points are Rondo's game. And plus, he only scored 2 points. He wasn't getting nobody involved like Rondo does. So, on offensive end, Rondo's leaps and bounds out over Caruso. Caruso has one job: play defense, shoot threes, and cut. He didn't do none of that. So he's one of the blames. It's Anthony Davis, those big men, and those role players. You're shaking your head.
LeBron have no blame in this. LeBron has no blame for him not being aggressive in that game.
I mean, I don't understand how 30 points and 11 assists isn't aggressive. He scored his points and got others involved. When those others aren't scoring, I mean, you can say he wasn't being aggressive enough, but he did his job. He did his. He scored 30 points and got others.
It don't matter about doing your job. It's about you trying to win the game. And at times he was
so doing your job isn't trying to win the game.
LeBron James at times was too passive in that game.
I mean, but no, because you said no, because you said, I remember you saying this. You said, "Oh, LeBron and them, they gotta play aggressive. They have to get others."
He's one of them.
Let me finish. And they have to get others involved for them to be good. Because you said that. You said they have to get others involved. So when he goes and try to get his shooters involved and they miss, that's on him. That's on him when he tries to get. No, I'm not done. This is my turn. I'll let you have your turn. This is my turn. When he tries to get others involved because they can't score on their own. But people like J.R. and Dion can Quinn Cook, but they don't get no playing time.
They don't need to.
They do need to. When the Lakers struggle on offense, why not put offensive players in? When you know your offense isn't getting buckets and your defense isn't that good either because you're down 20 points, then why don't you put in some guys that can score the ball? Okay. Do I think the Lakers will ever shoot 6 for 26 from the 3-point line again? No, I do not. I think they had every team has one of those days where they can't hit shots. Okay. The other game was the Lakers' day. Right now, they're winning 23-14. They're going to come out hot, aggressive this game. But my point being is that you cannot shoot that bad, and people that are supposed to have a role in that team and their role is shooting, you cannot shoot that bad. Those big men, when your role is getting rebounds and blocks and you don't do those, then that's a problem. So they lost in the rebound battle. Who's to blame? The rebounders. They lost in the 3-point shooting battle. Who's to blame? The guys that are supposed to shoot threes. Danny Green is supposed to be a 3D guy. Right now, he's barely defensive.
Well, how can he be a problem? He's been shooting the 3 bad all year in the playoffs.
And I've been saying he's been a problem this entire playoffs.
So he shouldn't be a problem for the series because we knew going into the series that he was going to be a problem.
If you're labeled as a 3-and-D guy, then every time you have a bad game and they lose and you shoot bad, it's going to be part of the blame on you. Win or lose.
So you mean to tell me if you LeBron James and you see shooters not knocking down shots, you were just supposed to keep passing the ball, he's supposed to take over?
He's not supposed to give wide open shooters. If they're wide open, who's not going to give them the ball?
That's the playoff.
If they're wide open, who's not going to give them the ball? LeBron is one of, if not the smartest basketball players of all time. If you have a wide open shooter, you're going to give that wide open shooter the ball. You're saying he wasn't aggressive. Yeah, he had 30 points with 60% from the field. He got 11 assists. He probably could have had 20. Okay, LeBron did his job. LeBron's job is to get others involved and take over when he needs to. When it was time for Tim to take over, he took over. When it's time for that defense to take over, they took over. What happened? It was 103-99 for a couple minutes. Nobody could buy a bucket. Nobody could buy a bucket.
We got to let Big Shaw go, but when he get done, I got something to say to you.
Ain't no rebuttal. The topic over. We moving on to the
next. We're going to have to rebuttal on this one.
Man, you got to rebound. You got to crash the boards.
Exactly.
You gotta hustle. But I can't blame LeBron. I can't lie, man. I can't blame LeBron.
Man, we had the best.
LeBron James
I can't blame LeBron, man. LeBron
We had the
don't
best
do his
game on
thing.
everybody. How he to blame? Don't make no sense.
No, we can't blame LeBron.
Because when you have
can't
shooters,
blame
when your
LeBron.
shooters are wide open and they're not knocking down shots, there comes a time where you got
You're supposed to stop passing it to them when the shooter is wide open.
Yes, it comes a time when it say, "Get out the way, give me the ball, I'm taking over." This
He's gonna take over tonight. He's gonna take over tonight.
He gonna have
So
to.
he's supposed to go up on three guys when you have a wide open
Freddie,
30-40% from the shooter at the 3-point line.
This is the playoffs. This is not a regular
That's
season.
dummy.
game.
You're describing dummy basketball. LeBron's
No.
not a dummy.
No, who
Dummy
always say you-
basketball.
you always
Dummy
say you got
basketball is
LeBron.
forcing a shot. Dummy basketball trying to force a shot. If you have a wide open shooters on your team, you're not going to give it to him. Anthony Davis was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. He is part of the blame.
And I said that he looked like he think he's Steph Curry because he knocked down one shot.
But he had first of all, he's been shooting like that his entire career.
So, but it don't matter if you see if
Guys.
you don't see it going down, you don't
Guys.
just knocking it down. LeBron James needs to be more aggressive. He shot.
LeBron
60%.
had 30 points on 63%.
That's not enough, Chris.
How is that not
It's
aggressive? He had
Guys.
11 assists. His job is to score and get others
Yeah,
involved.
that man
He
played
did his job.
That's not enough, Chris. You got to do more than that. I'm just saying.
He ready to stop. He ready to stop.
come on. Okay. I say that the guy to blame is that there was not a third person on the Lakers team to step up and give 21 points.
Exactly.
The Nuggets,
What do you think?
the
What he's
Nuggets
saying,
So LeBron was not to blame, but I actually agree with Freddie. I don't think Anthony Davis was to blame either.
He was to blame.
I would
3 rebounds. No, 3
entire-
rebounds. He's the blame.
Oh, he's to blame for sure.
Yeah, he's part of it too.
Rebounds, he's the blame. And like I agree with Nate. The Lakers right now, Rondo will give you like 9 and 9, but they need somebody still to go out there and get buckets. Jamie Grant gave you 24, and Michael Porter had double figures. Same thing with Morris. The role players for the Lakers have to step up. When they win, those role players play consistent.
Chris, you got like talking about a third star. We haven't had a third star really.
I said a third player to step up. I didn't say a third.
I mean,
star.
come on. I mean, there comes a time when we got to stop giving LeBron off the hook. I mean,
How
I'm
you
like
get it? Oh
LeBron.
my God, Freddie, you make no sense. Every team always have a third guy to step up. The Nuggets won because they had somebody give them 24. Whenever the Lakers win, somebody on that bench or somebody that starting lineup step up, whether it was Morris, whether it's Rondo, whether it's Kuzma. At the end of the day, 2 players cannot carry a team. LeBron had 30. Anthony Davis had 27.
He need more. He need more. It's the playoffs. I've seen LeBron say, "Give me the ball." He's taking over. He's got to done that. He needs to do it. If you see your shooters not knocking out shots, you need to take over. Give
So
me
when
the
he-
ball.
So
This
when he
is
takes
what-
over and he has 30 points, look, they won because they had Grant had 24, Jokic was over 20, Murray was over 20. They had 2 guys off the bench to give them double figures.
Yeah, they were stepping
LeBron
up.
had the points and assists. I'm not done. Anthony Davis had the points. Who else is going to score?
Chris,
You
there
have
comes a
people wide
time-
open. No,
Chris.
Freddie, okay, when it comes to time we have player, it's not a 2-man, it's not a 1-man game. You have 5 guys on the court. When those other guys can get their own bucket, that's the problem. They're part
No,
of
it's
the
not,
game.
Chris. When you have a superstar that can, God rest in peace.
He had 30 points.
That's what is 30 points. That's nothing.
That was the entire game.
60%. All his other teams
Chris.
shot less than 40%. How is the blame on
Chris,
him? He
Chris,
did it.
listen. God rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. When his teammates was not knocking out
Okay,
shots,
and in
Look
game
what Kobe
7,
did.
game 7, when Kobe went 8 for 24 against the Celtics, who stepped up? Ron Artest. You need others to win. At the end of the day, you can throw out all these great games he had, but it was time for him to step up. Who hit the big shot in the Western Conference Finals against the Kings? Robert Ory. You need
Chris.
role players to have good
Chris,
games.
you
Freddie,
missed
everything
the
you're going to say star this and star that.
There's no
And then
iron game.
don't win
missed
without
the
role
point,
players.
Chris.
I know your point. Your point
No,
is that
you don't.
LeBron, you're trying to say LeBron
Hey,
has to
let's
do
move on.
more. He has to score
Let's
more.
move on.
You're
But
not
at the end of
listening
the
to
day,
my point.
Let's move
yeah,
on.
listen, you say LeBron has to do more. But at
Let
the end
me
of the
explain
day,
my point.
every superstar has to have role players to step up. You can say
Mhm.
anything you want. Rest in peace, Black Mama. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. He had
Let me
role
explain
players.
my
Every time
point.
he won the championship, step up. Role players.
You're
have
not
to
listening.
Okay. You said
What I'm saying,
LeBron
what
has to be more aggressive, right?
what I'm saying is, once you give your teammates a chance to get inserted into the game, and you see that they're not making the shots, you need to become more aggressive. You need to say, "Okay, I gave you your chance. Get out the way. I'm taking over because nobody on this team can guard him.
He shot
Nobody.
30 shots a night that last night. That's not aggressive enough.
He need to be He settled at the 3-point line for most of it. He at the thing. He Steph
Let's
Curry.
move on.
Attack the paint. You are LeBron freaking James. Nobody can guard you. Nobody on this team.
Not dominant. 63% from the field is not dominant.
You need to do more. If you're shooting that good, you need to do more.
Okay.
What's the problem? Why can't you? You're the king. Do it. And he's doing it tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Next topic. If the Lakers lose this series, I like how you guys said if,
Yes.
is LeBron would that affect LeBron's legacy? I'm gonna give this
Who's
one
going
big
first, mate?
shot.
Well,
Big shot.
Shit, will that impact his legacy? I would have to say no. I don't think it will. You know, LeBron did everything, in the NBA. His first, game in the league, he took his team to the final with a bunch of nobodies.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, have Michael Jordan done that though? I'm just asking. I'm not sure if he has.
Has he what?
Michael Jordan, had he brought his team to the finals in his first year?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, LeBron did a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
He got a lot of awards. He got everything right now. So I don't think it'll hurt his legacy at all. After he walked into the sunset, it's next man up. And I'm gonna tell you who it's gonna be. My guy in Dallas, Luka. That's a dangerous man. I can see him being the face of the league when LeBron James walking the sunset.
I can see that for sure.
Okay. Freddie.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have two LeBron James fans on the set. And hey, don't get me wrong, I like LeBron. Hey, I love it, dude.
I'm gonna keep it real with my answer. I'm keeping it real. I always keep it real.
I love LeBron now. He's my now that Kobe's passed away, he's my favorite player because I was a Kobe fan. But if the Lakers lose this round, how's it going to affect his legacy? That's the question, right?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a huge impact on his legacy.
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. You're playing for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Will it impact his legacy? Will it impact his legacy?
Yes, it will. Because
Okay.
you got to realize this is the Lakers. This is not Cleveland. This is not Miami. When you sign with the purple and gold, there's expectations to not go to the Western Conference Final. It's not to just go to the finals. It's to win a championship. And if he do not deliver a championship to L.A., he will be the only superstar outside of Elgin Baylor to not deliver a championship to L.A. You see too many stars come to L.A. and win a chip. He has to deliver. I mean, I'm just being honest. He has to. And when you acquire you acquired Anthony Davis to team up with you, when you trade off a bunch of young guys and picks, you have to deliver. This will be a huge impact on his legacy. I'm just keeping it real.
Is it my Chicago?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yes.
Before I give my answer, I will say this, Freddie. It's only his first full season with the Lakers. Just if he doesn't win this, it's not like he can never win a championship. I mean, Shaq didn't win championship for years. So, like, just because he doesn't win this year doesn't mean he's not a great Laker or anything with the Lakers. Lakers.
Right, we agree. He still got time.
I'm not worried about the Lakers when I think about this. That's behind me. Listen, I think LeBron James is one of, if not the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Now, after this, will he have a chance to win again? Yes. But I will say this: a lot of players, right? It's a yes and no for me. Like Big Shaw said, he accomplished a lot. I think him bringing his team back from 3-1 counts more than a lot of people's rings when they go against hurt teams. I'm just gonna put it out there. You know who I'm talking about. Don't gotta say the name. But I think I'm sorry, I was looking at the game. LeBron got a big dunk. Speaking of the King, I think, when he wins this series and when he wins the finals, what will it do for him? A lot of people say that. When they base their list on greatest players of all time, they want to throw out rings, which is absurd because more people have rings than Jordan. But I've been hearing from a lot of people that once he reaches 4, then they're start going to consider him as the greatest of all time. So I think once he gets, I think this might be his best chance of winning.
Yeah.
I think this season. So I think once he does win the championship, knock on wood right there. I don't want no bad judo. But once he wins the championship, A lot of people will now, after I already consider him the greatest of all time, but him having 4 rings, I think, is a big part of people changing their mind. People saying, okay, he has 4 now. I'm going to go to him, and I think when he wins the championship, that's going to be that's going to impact his legacy. If he doesn't win it, listen, he went to 8 straight 9 finals. Nobody's done that. No superstar did that. So I think his legacy is already set in stone. It cannot decrease if he doesn't win this year. It's only going to impact him on a greater scale. It's not going to hurt his legacy. It's only going to improve his legacy.
I have a question. So, Chris, if he does not deliver a championship to the Lakers, you don't think that'll impact his legacy?
You talking about this year or
I'm talking about his whole time in LA.
Does that? I mean, I guess when you're looking at his all-time Lakers, yeah, but
I'm talking about him as a player. Period. If he did not deliver, period.
Does it make him what you said? Does it hurt his? Say the question again.
Does this hurt if he do not deliver a championship with the Lakers? Not this year. No, next coming years. That you saying that don't hurt his legacy at all?
He's already one of the greatest of all time. If he doesn't win a championship, I don't think that's going to hurt his legacy at all.
I disagree.
So he's going to. So in my opinion, okay, let's say he's top 3 of all time. So if he doesn't win a championship, you're going to move him down.
You can't move him down.
I'm not going to say. I'm not talking about.
He can't go down. He can only go up.
I'm not talking about ranks. I'm talking about this is going to be a thing on his legacy. Because just check this out. If he won the championship with the Lakers, I think he's going to get elevated even more to go to
Lakers. That doesn't matter who he wins.
The reason why I say that is because he went to a franchise who had been on his downward years and rejuvenized a franchise back to the way that's accustomed to and won a championship. So if we're gonna give him credit for that, we need to give him. We need to.
I wasn't really thinking about. I think he just got on the team and made it. It could have been any team. He could have went to the Bobcats and when they were bad and made him good. I don't consider him with the Lakers affecting his legacy. Like he's a ball player.
This is what you guys got to understand. This is not just any other team. This is not the Bobcats.
I mean, I seen the Lakers sign great people, and they didn't deliver things. I don't think if he doesn't, I don't think Dwight Howard when he first signed, everybody said everybody said he was supposed to be that guy. He didn't do nothing.
Chris, come on, Chris.
I'm just stating facts. Now listen.
Yeah, LeBron, his legacy set though.
Yeah, LeBron. Listen, I don't think it's going to hurt his legacy if he doesn't win this year. At all. I don't think his legacy cannot be depleted. His legacy is already stamped. Only player to come back from 3-1 in NBA Finals. He took his team to all the finals by himself. Okay, his legacy is already stamped. His legacy can only improve. Can never go anything other than that.
I definitely think this is
hear my boy Nate.
This is his best chance to win it this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if he does win, I know it may seem crazy. Do y'all think he may retire if he wins?
No.
He could play he play 6 to 7 more years. Go ahead, Nate.
I would disagree about maybe 6 or 7, maybe 3 or 4, but I can't see 6 or 7. And if my thing is, if he wins, then yes, I think that would impact his legacy in a positive way. But now, let me ask you something. When Michael Jordan went to the Wizards, how well did they do?
They were trash, but that's a different story. Like he was retired first of all, he was going in and out of retirement for one. Secondly, he joined the team with no, they weren't looking to win no championships over there. Just be honest, he just went there. I feel like he just went there to show people, hey, I can still ball. LeBron James didn't retire or nothing like that. He's still in his prime. Like I said before, he never left his prime. So I don't think comparing them two situations. Those not two similar situations.
And Jordan was trying to become in the ownership, so that was more of a business.
Exactly. He couldn't play and be a GM and all that stuff at the same time.
He wanted to, but he couldn't.
Yeah, he wanted to play. I'm saying that you can't. As those no comparison.
You can't do that.
That team didn't try to surround him and become a championship winning team. No, that's no comparison with them.
No.
All right. So moving on to the next topic. That is, who is the best player in the Eastern Conference Final? Give this the Big Show.
That's easy. Oh, go ahead, Big Show. I think it's easy for me.
Jimmy Butler. In my eyes.
Me too.
Either Dorian Hammond. I've been watching this series, but not like I, should be watching. But yeah, it's Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I gotta agree 100%. No disrespect to Jason Tatum, but Jimmy Butler's a different beast. Like what he does on the defensive end, and like I understand he might not be as talented as Jason Tatum on the offensive end, but when it's time for him to go get a bucket, it's time for him to go get a bucket. Like Jimmy Butler is one of those stars that's going to do whatever is necessary. If he can score 0 points and still secure victory, that's a good thing. I think he impacts the games right now. Right now, I know Jason Tatum is young, but right now I think all the points that Jimmy Butler impacts the game is more for me than Jason Tatum. Not taking nothing away for Jason Tatum. I think he's the second best player. And I think I wouldn't be mad if somebody did pick Jason Tatum in this. But personally, I'm just going with Jimmy Butler. I think he's great. I think he does a lot for his team. He's important to his team. He's the dog. But I agree with him when you say the heart and soul of that team is Bam Adebayo. But I'm not taking nothing away from the dog and the impact he has had on this team. Him going there ultimately made them a championship contender.
It's tough because you wanted to choose Jason Tatum because you believe in that dude. That dude is a beast. This is not the first year that we noticed this dude. When him and the Boston Celtics took LeBron when he was the Cavs to a 7-game series, we knew Jason Tatum was a beast. But you have to give it to Jimmy Butler. Just not what he done on the court, but he gave these other teammates on his team the dog mentality. He brought in he came in and helped.
It was already dogs.
I understand that, but he was
the leader. He's the leader of the dog pack. You can say
exactly.
That. It was
exactly. He came in there and he helped build a culture. And man, you have to give it to Jimmy Butler. He if he's off on the offensive side, he steps it up even more on the defensive side. That's the best thing about him.
Reed out there.
Like if just take for example, if you have a James Harden, a lot of times James Harden used to get blamed for this. If he's not going on the offensive end, he's just a body out there.
I disagree.
A long time ago. I'm not talking about now. He got better defensively.
For the past couple of years, he stepped it up a lot on the defensive end.
Yeah, I agree. I'm talking about
8 years ago. 8 years ago, yeah. But you can't throw defensive James out now no more. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about in the past, not now.
You can't use that analogy no more, man.
I'm talking about in the past. He was just a body. Jimmy Butler, his offense not going. He stepped up on the defensive end. So you have to go Jimmy Butler, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
So next question is, will Houston keep Russell Westbrook? And I say no. Big Shaw.
What you said?
Will Houston keep Russell Westbrook?
That's a good question. I think they will. Russell Westbrook, he's not a bad player. He disappears sometimes, but his plans, because he's aggressive. He's a good shooter. He gets the job done.
Not a shooter.
Do you think he's a good shooter?
He's a terrible shooter, man. He's brick house.
Yeah.
I love Russell Westbrook, but 20% from the team.
No.
You're not gonna get rid of him though.
No.
I mean, that'd be crazy to get rid of him. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I like his attitude. I like his aggressiveness though, for sure.
I gotta agree with Big Shaw, man. He's one of them dogs in the league. You don't have guys that go out and wear on their sleeve and that aggressive every single night like Russell Westbrook. And I honestly think him and James Harden are one of the best duos in the league. Does he disappear at times? Yes. But I think if you keep that roster where it's at right now and give them a big man, they're fine.
Yeah,
first of all, I don't know what team is even going to trade for Russell Westbrook. To be honest, because I don't know championship contender team right now. How I'm looking at these teams are going to trade for Russell Westbrook. So I think they keep him. I think him and James Harden, like I said, are one of the best duos in the league. You talking about two guys who are completely aggressive and go out and can attack every single night. They both create shots for others. They both can get their own shot. I just think, with a coach that's going to push him and put him in the best spaces for him to be successful and help his game out some, maybe like a Sam Cassell, a guy who's in my opinion, a point guard guru. See what he had with Chris Paul, John Wall. He helps out point guards. Maybe how about Russell Westbrook? I think him and Houston is a good fit. If they kept Capella, things would have been different.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think he stays in Houston. I don't think Houston
don't get rid of him.
No,
don't get rid of him.
Is my turn?
Freddie, are you on my side?
Yeah. Man, you guys have been looking at my notes.
Oh, I know why looking at your crazy notes, Freddie. No.
I definitely don't think you get rid of a Russell Westbrook
get rid of him.
year. I definitely think Houston will bring in. They need to bring in a big man. To me, you know what big man I would like to see them go get?
Miles Turner is the best one.
Yeah, him. But I would like to. They need a real traditional big man.
No, they don't. He can do both for him. They love to shoot. He's a shooter and he can roll to the basket, get you 5 blocks and 12, 13 rebounds.
What if Houston was able to trade Eric Gordon and Robert Covington and some draft picks and to go get a Rudy Gobert?
Heck no.
No, that ain't gonna
They
happen.
switch everything over there, dude. He cannot guard the pick and roll. That's not going to work for that team. They switch everything and they switch everything on defense, bro. He's not good enough all around defender. I think Miles Turner is a better perimeter defender than him, and he can hold down the paint just as good as Rudy Gobert, and he can stretch the floor out. Man, that is not a good trade for them. That's like if they were doing that, they should never got rid of Capella. But that's a terrible trade. I'm sorry.
I don't think they should got rid of Capella in the first place.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert for them is terrible. I'm not a big
That shocked me when they done that.
Yeah, that's dumb for them. You go Miles Turner, even Al Horford is a better fit for them.
Miles Turner, you need a big man who can take the beating on the inside.
He can take it, bro. Miles Turner, to me, for them, is a better fit than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert may be able to hold down the paint, so can Miles Turner. And
maybe if he can hold the paint down.
Yeah, no. Miles Turner can for sure hold the paint down. It's not a lot of centers that's really all the time back to the basket. And I feel like LA took advantage of that, but they also drove to the hole more than they post up.
Right.
Miles Turner is a capable shot blocker. Can switch on everything like they love to do, and he can hit down threes and he can roll to the basket. I do not think for that system, even we can get rid of D'Antoni, their system is going to stay the same. Their principles are going to stay the same when it comes to defense, how hard they fight, how they can have the ability to switch everything. Rudy Gobert will get exposed on the defensive end, bro. Trust me.
Well, we all agree that Russell Westbrook stays this year.
Yes, that's one thing we can all agree on, finally.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what are the expectations you expect for the Brooklyn Nets this season?
That's a good one.
I'm going to give this one to Chris.
Expectations for the Brooklyn Nets. Well, I will say this. I have Steve Nash early predictions winning Coach of the Year next year. I think, for them, realistically, competing for a ring. They definitely have to get to at least the Eastern Conference Finals. It'll be good for them to get to the finals and compete for a ring. I do not think this team is championship bust, though, because, you're adding KD off the injury. You have Kyrie. You have a new head coach. As long as they go out and compete now, do they have the ability to win a championship? Best believe they do. They have the firepower? Yes, indeed, they do. But is it championship or bust for them? No, it's not. But they have to compete. Losing in the second round 4-1 is not a good look. Losing to the second round, maybe against the Milwaukee Bucks 4-3, that's not as bad. But they have to compete. They have to be one of the best teams in the East in the league. But it all stems on is KD healthy. This team is a playoff team without Kyrie and KD. But when you add 2 superstars to your team, that's a whole new dynamic. When you add a new head coach, it's a whole new dynamic. So I think they will be able to gel fast because KD can play on and off the ball. I think Steve Nash is a brilliant mind. I think he's only going to help Kyrie, KD, everybody else who they consider to keep on that team. But if they lose the championship, is it a big failure for them year one? No, not in my opinion. But can they win? Like I said, they have the ability.
Before I let Big Shot go, you just said that they're losing to the second round to the Milwaukee Bucks. They lost first round to the Toronto Raptors.
They didn't have Kevin Durant. I said next year. I'm not talking about this year.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking about next year.
Big Shot, go.
I can see Brooklyn, going to the playoffs. You got 2 superstars on your team. But my thing is can Kyrie Irving stay healthy? And Durant, he's been out for a while. But then you got a great coach, Hall of Fame coach, and Steve Nash. He's gonna get the best out of Kyrie Irving and Durant. Durant, he's a heck of a shooter.
Yes,
I think they can go deep into the playoffs. When I say finals,
I think they can make it. I think they can make it, man.
If you want to push yourself, set the goal high and say, yeah, we can get to the NBA final. Like I said, you got 2 superstars and a Hall of Fame coach. you know, and on this note too, I don't care what nobody says. Steve Nash, you know, is going to be a good hire.
Me too. I agree.
I don't care what people say or Stephen A. Smith got to say about it.
He's going to be a great hire. They're going to be top 5 offense, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to. I think if Kyrie can stay healthy, I think it's going to be his best year by far.
Yeah, that's my only thing is, you know, can he stay healthy? And Durant, he's going to be ready to roll next season.
Yo, he's going to be ready to.
He's going to be ready to go.
We're going to assume healthy, okay? We're not going, you know, we're going to assume that they're going to stay healthy. Kevin Durant is one of the best scorers this game I've ever seen. I mean, this dude can hit you from the 3-point line, mid range, inside. He can do it. He can do it all. Kyrie Irving is, you know, to me, he reminds you of a little. He's like he's a smaller version of Allen Iverson. That dude,
he's bigger than AI. But
I'm talking about game. I'm not talking about size.
I think Kyrie is a class in itself. But go ahead.
I mean, you talking about who can dance on you, who can dribble on you, who can do all kind of moves, crossover, step back three, mid range. He can do it inside. He can do it all.
Yeah.
Then you have a Karis LeVert. Did you guys see that Steve Nash said he want him to be like a Ginobili from the San Antonio Spurs, come off the bench and, you know, maybe, you know, knock down, you know, at the end of the game, he'd be their closer. I mean, these dudes, you know, then you have their center,
Allen.
You got DeAndre Jordan. You got
They're loaded.
I wish they keep Jamal Crawford too. Keep Jamal Crawford.
Oh, they're loaded.
Yeah, they have scores all over.
They ready.
But you know, Milwaukee, if Milwaukee get Chris Paul, you know, it kind of turns a twist into this. But I definitely think this team, if Kevin Durant comes back, the Kevin Durant that we know, I definitely think he can lead this team to the finals because we've seen Kevin Durant. I mean, yes, I understand he used to go in the state, he has Steph and Clay, but that Kevin Durant you saw, that's the real deal. That dude is a scorer. So
I lead up to the finals though, but he was at his best in Golden State, and I think that's going to be the same thing with Steve Nash. Steve Nash is going to play. He's not going to say he's going to copy that Golden State system, but it's going to be similar. It's not going to be a lot of isos. The ball is going to be moving. Everybody's going to be the best that they can be. Just look out. Even with even coming off a torn Achilles, KD is a knockdown shooter. So
remember, he's not the most athletic dude anyway.
Oh no. He's athletic. You're wrong on that one.
Well, he don't depend on it. Like he can score with.
He doesn't depend on it, but it's a big part of it. He doesn't depend on it. Like I said, he can shoot 10 threes a game next year, but he shows his athleticism when he plays. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he don't have to depend on it to be effective on the offensive end. Like, you know, he's athletic, but he don't have to depend. Like
we're agreeing. Yeah, he doesn't have to depend on it. I'm just saying it helps. Like I say, he can shoot. He could be a spot up shooter and be one of the best in his league scoring. He doesn't depend on it, but I just think it makes him even better of a scorer as well. But we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
For the first time.
So I agree with everything that you're saying, but just to add on, if they don't have anybody that is like out for a huge chunk of the season, and they still, however, struggle, it wouldn't surprise me. But
I doubt you by yourself with that one. I'm sorry. You by yourself.
And just take this away. You know, when Kyrie was in Boston, nobody really judged his game wrong. It was his mindset. And like Big Shaw said, I think Steve Nash, him being a point guard, can help elevate
the best year of his career, man. He's going to help. You know, Kyrie Irving is an exceptional scorer. By far, we all know he's one of the best scorers. I know the game's crazy right now, Freddie. Let's try not to ruin it for people, though. Kyrie Irving is one of the best we've seen with the ball in his hand, but I think Steve Nash is going to help him pick his spots better and also help him see the floor better. And ultimately, he's probably going to get more points on less shots and more assists just by Steve Nash helping him see the game better. So I think all those players are going to ball out. I don't see them struggling because they're a playoff team without those guys. So adding Kevin Durant, who doesn't have to be selfish to score, and Kyrie Irving with Steve Nash that can help him see the floor better, it's only going to help this team.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and whatever went on in Baltimore, Kyrie Irving, I don't know, but
he wasn't ready to be the number one for me.
Yeah.
I think came out and said it. I know he wanted to be the number one, but there's some leadership things he had to learn. And I think, but I think it would have been a great fit if they'd have tried it out. But I understand that, moving on to him moving on. But Him and Kevin Durant, 1A, 1B. We know Kevin Durant is that main guy, but don't take nothing away from Kyrie Irving. I mean, we all love LeBron. We love LeBron got that block, but Kyrie Irving hit that shot. Kyrie Irving is one of those guys. And just to say this, for everybody out there, I've been saying Jamal Murray was a bucket since he came into the league. But for the people I've seen it on Twitter saying that right now, just because you've seen him this one postseason, right? That y'all wouldn't say nothing about Jamal Murray, but this one postseason. For everybody saying that he's better than Kyrie Irving already, slow your roll. I know how good Jamal Murray is. He is not better than Kyrie Irving right now.
He's smoking on something. They say that.
Yeah, Kyrie just got to stay healthy. That's all.
And Kyrie got one of them things on his finger, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't just say he's better than him. And Kyrie, we're not going to go into it. That's not a topic, but I just wanted to address
it. It could be a topic. It could.
Yeah, we might talk. Let's move on, Nate.
So what game? And moving on, we're talking about NFL now. We're moving away from NBA.
Yeah.
What game will for Game 3? I mean, for Week 3 will be the best in your opinion?
Baltimore, Kansas City.
All right. See, he took it.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear him say who he's going to. But you go ahead, Big Show. I'll just follow up on what you guys said.
Yeah, you took that one. Yeah, that's going to be the game right there.
Yeah.
Two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Yeah, Lamar Jackson. If he can keep going the way he's going, he's going to hit there. But yeah, man, two great quarterbacks. Man, we just need the fans back. Then you got two good running backs back there. You got, Tyreek Hill. But I just want to see how Kansas City going to rebound from the way they played against the Chargers. I got to see it. Mahomes got to show us something, but it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game.
Ready?
Yes, that's going to be a good game, but I don't think that's going to be the best game. The reason being is because this team is actually playing for
Mm-hmm.
expectations because they played sloppy the last game against the Oakland Raiders. The Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints will be the best game Sunday night. And the reason being because Aaron Rodgers is turning back to MVP.
No, it ain't going to be one.
Aaron Rodgers have a chip on his shoulder.
Would you agree with that?
Showing why he's still
I got a big show. I got a big show.
They play the game. You have Aaron Jones who had 160 some yards the last week. And if you Drew Brees, you do not want to go down another game. When you have Tampa Bay and Tom Brady in that division, if they win again, you need to stay close to them. So I don't think I think the Ravens and the Baltimore would be the more exciting game to watch. But I think the Saints are in a must-win mode Sunday night against the Green Bay Packers without a Michael Thomas.
So being the most, I'm about to go, but I got a question for Freddie. So the most exciting game won't be the best game?
I mean, you can say it's going to be the best game, but I'm just saying the Saints is in must-win mode. That's all.
First of all, every team is in a must-win mode. Secondly, you got the Ravens and the Chiefs going against each other. They're the best two teams in football. So this is going to be a big show right now. They're the best two teams in football. So this is going to be a big show right now.
They're the two best teams in football. I don't see that.
They're the best two teams in football. So they're going to see, which team has their early edge. So this is going to be a very important game. You have Hall of Fame coaches. You have, very good quarterbacks. Now, if they go to where they're going, they can possibly get into the Hall of Fame. Yes. It's two great teams. The Kansas City Chiefs coming off the Super Bowl got 20 out of the 22 starters. The Baltimore Ravens have by far the best roster in NFL. And
that don't make them the best team, though, Chris.
They're better than the Packers. But
how do we know that? We haven't played each other.
They're better. Okay. Anyway, you're saying the Saints and Packers. What is Drew Brees going to do without Michael Thomas? That game is going to
step up.
He can't. He doesn't have an arm anymore. I understand what you're saying, and I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a very good game. But I think the best game by far is Baltimore. Kansas. I have the Packers winning that game. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. But by far, this is going to be a head and shoulders. Both teams are fully healthy. Both teams are the Super Bowl favorites. And man, just to see those two guys going up this early in the year, it's going to be a very, very good game. And it's by far going to be the must-watch best game this week.
It is. It's going to be good.
Yes, sir.
So because of the New Orleans Saints, I don't think Green Bay and New Orleans will be the best game. I don't even think they're going to be the second best game. I think they'll be the third.
Yeah.
The second best game, I'm going to go with Bills and the Rams.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good game too. And Freddie, because I know you love Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers too. It has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers, why nobody's saying this is going to be the best games because of the Saints. Just
I'm
get
not
that in your
saying
head.
I'm not saying it's gonna be the best game. I think we're going to
That's
see.
the question was though. The question was going to be the best game week 3? That was the question.
It's out of them or the
Yeah. Let's go to the next topic, Nick. Your boy Freddie.
I'm just saying the Saints are in must-win mode right now. So is your Eagles, by the way.
Yeah, I know
you might see a backup quarterback sooner or later.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You might see Daniel Jones gone, my friend. You think he's great? He's not. If they can get
you mean to tell me if Carson Wentz did not get it done in 4 weeks, we will not see the quarterback y'all drafted?
In 4 weeks. In 4 weeks.
Oh, please.
In 4 weeks.
Oh, please.
6 or 8. Yeah.
Not yet.
No quarterback gets no franchise quarterback gets pulled after the first 4 weeks, Freddie. Learning your football.
You got to give a little bit more time.
If I'm the Philadelphia Eagles and I see that division,
but you're not the Philadelphia Eagles. You're a New York Giants fan. You need everything to get better. We're getting off topic, Freddie. We're getting off topic.
I'm a Packers fan too. My dad let me down.
Let's move on, Nate.
So, what NFL player has surprised you the most?
Who's going first on this? Give it to Big Shaw.
I'm gonna say my boy Kyle Murray, man.
I love that.
He shocked me. And I ain't gonna lie. I can't lie. He's my boy Kyle Murray, man. He playing out his mind right
now. Chris.
Now I will say this. I can't say Kyler Murray because I knew what he was in college, knew what he would be, So for me, it's a guy that I didn't expect him to have this good of a start. And I'm going with Josh Allen out of Buffalo. I knew Josh Allen had an arm. I knew this man had an arm. Right now, he's balling out. He has 6 touchdowns. He's leading the league with 727 passing yards, 2-0 with a 70 completion percentage. Man, I knew Josh Allen was good. I knew giving him Stephon Diggs would help, but did I see this man slinging a rock like this?
I didn't think he was going to.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised. There's a lot of good quarterbacks balling out, but I expected those things from those guys. Like Cam Newton, he came to mind when this topic came up, but I expected Cam Newton. Freddie might say Aaron Rodgers, but listen, I love Aaron Rodgers. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I expected him to play like this.
I expected too.
Exactly. This is what we expect from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
This Russell Wilson also is a contention, but I will say this: if he ever had a chance to pass the ball his first couple years, he would have been like this. We knew Russell Wilson could do this.
He would have been MVP by now.
He's the MVP. He's definitely the MVP right now. So this is things I expect from him. All the great quarterbacks playing right now, I expect those great things. But Josh Allen is one of those guys. He's young. He took his team to the playoffs last year, but he still has to prove as a quarterback, get better passing, get better, accuracy. And this year, he's surprising a lot of people, including your boy Chris Truly.
Yeah. He got fit at accuracy though. Then he'll be even better.
Yeah, he already has that. He already has the strongest arm and gets strongest arm in the game. So once he gets the accuracy,
Big Shaw and I pointed out that Kyler Murray was a surprise this year.
Y'all think he's a surprise?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I expected it from him, so that's why I didn't pick him. Like this, like I knew how good he was last year, and I knew you surround him with talent. Then you give him D-Hop. I knew how good he could be. So I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just me personally, it's kind of this is what I expect out of this young boy right here. He's nice.
Can I go now?
Yeah. Go ahead, Freddie. We all agreeing over here. Don't mess up the good energy.
It's not Aaron Rodgers because, like Chris said, I expect Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, we do. We expect that from that great
man. For me personally, it's Jared Goff. The Rams.
That's the sneaky good one. That's the sneaky good one.
That Rams team looked good. The dude put up over 260 yards both games, have 3 touchdowns for the season. He do have an interception. His QBR is 142 last week. That's crazy. But I definitely Jared Goff. He's not a quarterback, and Sean McVay. They're not going to do too much. They're going to stick to a game plan, and they're going to do it. And I think we need to judge Jared Goff by that. He sticks by the game plan, and he doesn't. So I think Jared Goff is, especially having a down year like they had last year, I definitely think this year, to me, they're surprising a lot of folks, especially while the 49ers might be going down due to injuries. We don't know. We shall see. I think this is a year the Rams Cardinals can all 3 teams maybe in that division can sneak up in the playoffs. Maybe.
Slow down, Freddie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. But, that's right. I need to look at the
I
topics.
thought you were
Man.
gonna say Danny Jones.
But listen, I will say on the Jared Goff though, that's another surprise. The one like me, I know what kind of quarterback he is. So him playing like this in the Sean McVay system, I agree with that. I agree with everybody's pick, but I was just picking for a guy that is kind of young, hasn't really proved himself that much. I think Jared Goff proved himself, but it's still a good pick. The man's balling out this year. We're not taking nothing away from him. He's balling out. Kyler Murray's balling out. Josh Allen's balling out. All these quarterbacks are doing good. So yeah, I like everybody's pick. Me and Freddie not arguing. We in a good roll. Let's see how long.
Y'all doing good right there.
Yeah.
You know I was gonna say Aaron Rodgers. No, I expect that out of him.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is my boy. This is what I expect out of this man. Nothing but pure greatness.
Young man right there.
Save my Aaron Rodgers love for later on the show. Put it like that.
Okay, so so like I said, Big Sean and I had Kyler Murray as a surprise.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say, can the Cardinals make the playoffs this season? And I say they make 5th seed.
Can I go since I already started into my debate?
Yeah, you might as well take it on, Freddie, and I'll go after you, my friend.
It's my fault. I wasn't reading my topics as I go. I forgot that's one of the topics for today. With this 49ers team, you hurt pretty much everywhere. If they start to fall off, I can see 3 teams out of the division going to the playoffs. Because that's the best division in the NFC. I think we all agree.
They're the best of it.
Yeah. So we all agree
on the NFC East.
Yeah, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
You have Seattle. We know they're going to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the Rams, who's probably going to come in second. We don't know. And then the Cardinals. Then we have Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins. Fitzgerald, that team is loaded on the offensive end.
Yeah, defense, they're good too.
Yeah, so I definitely think the Cardinals can sneak in the playoffs this year.
I have to go ahead, Big Show. I'll go after you, my friend.
I can see the Cardinals going to the playoffs, but I got to see their schedule. In order for me to,
I'm gonna talk about it on my turn.
I can see them going to the playoffs. Because San Francisco, man, they falling apart right now. But
sad.
I can see the Seahawks taking that division, but Arizona gonna give them a fight, but they're gonna go to the playoffs though.
I have to agree. I think Arizona did nothing but improve from last year to this year. Then adding DeAndre Hopkins was just the icing on the cake. And sadly though, with the 49ers being hurt, they lost so many guys. I hope they get well soon. But at the end of the day, the Cardinals now have a chance to get into the playoffs. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a 7th playoff spots this year. So having an extra spot is, going to help them. When I look at their schedule, they have Detroit next, Carolina, who's dealing with injuries. McCaffrey's down. The Jets, Dallas, Seattle, Miami, Buffalo, Seattle, New England, the Rams, the Giants, the Eagles, the Niners, and then at the end of the season they have the Rams. So I think they have a lot of winnable games, especially that couple like that 4 or 6 game next games. I think they have a lot of winnable games. Their division, I think, is going to be all battles. I think we all can agree that the Seahawks, are the favorite in that division. But I still think they're going to battle. I think they have a chance to beat the Seahawks, just like the Seahawks have a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
And with that being said, with how their schedule looks, how they've been playing so far, the sad injuries to the 49ers, I am, with y'all. I do believe this team can get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna sneak in.
So another topic is, of all time, who are your top 5 wide receivers?
Oh my goodness.
I know one thing. If you know,
I'm gonna
go last.
I'm gonna give this to Big Shot.
Well, man, they can go to anybody. But I don't know one thing. If you know football, you better have Jared Rice at number 1. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 19, and I know he's on.
Yeah, you young, you're a youngster. You better have him.
Oh, I know for sure.
I got my boy Jared Rice at number 1, and plus I had family that played for the 49ers, so I better go for them. And I know some people don't know this guy. His name is Steve Largent. He's a
Steve Largent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a beast. He was NFL 100 beast.
I had to put him at number 2. I just had to. I couldn't put him over Jerry Rice.
He's
And
great receiver. I understand that. I
yes, sir.
understand that.
And Lynn Swan, he's one of my favorites. One of my
Great,
favorite.
another great. Cannot
Yeah,
argue with Hall of Famers and greats. I understand that too.
And I gotta put my boy when I wrote this down, I thought about him, man. I had to put Larry Fitzgerald on there.
Understandable.
That is Mr.
Greatness.
Reliable right there.
Greatness.
And I'm glad I had to see, Larry Fitzgerald play, great guy too. And Art Monk, also I got him on my list. He's number 5, my last one. Art Monk. I had to look at some YouTube videos on him. It was tough, man. You could be anybody else, Randy Moss, T.O. guys like they could have went on, but I went with Art Monk as my last one.
You can't argue with greatness. You put a lot of Hall of Famers on the list, a lot of great players, And one thing I would say about this for the younger generation, like guys my age, I would say I'm a sports geek, so I do my research on a lot of guys the ones that played before me, because you got to understand the history of the game to appreciate the game. So, back then, it wasn't as pass heavy as now. So when you're trying to base things off stats, then they obviously might not compare it. But if you go and watch the games and the highlights, you understand greatness. These guys were putting up great stats for their era. So you have to give respect to the legends. And I know these young boys going to give respect to their legends. So it's only right, Big Shaw pay homage. And I love your list, brother. Love your list. Right. Freddie, go ahead. Take this away, my friend.
I hope I'm not disrespectful with mine, but I mean, all wide receivers. I mean, a lot of them can be the all-time great. But I agree. I don't really have mine in order because it's hard to rank them. To me, it is. But I just gave a list of my top 5. I have Jerry Rice on mine. I mean, you have to. Yeah. I do have Larry Fitzgerald on mine as well.
Yeah.
I have Randy Moss on mine.
I agree.
I have Calvin Johnson on mine. And I have T.O. on there, which I think he's a Hall of Famer. And I definitely think that, hopefully this dude gets in the Hall of Fame because
T.O.'s in the Hall of Fame.
He is?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
So they finally put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, T.O. is my – I won't finish my list off.
All right. Well, I love your list, too. I feel like you looked at my notes, but it is what it is. I kind of put mine in order, but I think all of these, honestly, can be interchangeable. Number 1, I have Jerry Rice. Like I said, you have to understand the history of the game to fully accept and love the game. And Jerry Rice was an all-timer. What he did from, you could say, oh, it's great quarterbacks, but a lot of receivers had great quarterbacks and didn't put up the numbers he had. At the end of the day, he had talent. And he put in the work. He's one of the most hardworking players to ever play in this league. And he did it with longevity. So, of course, he's number 1. Everybody knows how great he is. He has all the stats. I mean, I don't think his stats are going to be broken for a while. Maybe now because of this new, pass-heavy offense, but still, it's going to be a while before somebody touched this man's stats. 2, I have Randy Moss. It was tough for me between 2 through 4. 2 through 5. Like I said, they're all interchangeable. I think Jerry Rice for sure was the number 1. But listen, man, Randy Moss was a freak of nature. Like, he's not supposed to be 6'4", 6'5", running a 4.2. He's not. Like, the dude was one of the fastest players ever in the league. He throw it up, he's going to grab the ball. Like, Randy Moss was a freak of nature. Randy Moss was great. Randy Moss is one of the best wide receivers of all time, man. So I think he's number 2 for me. Number 3, I have Terrence T.O. T.O. is top 3 in all wide receiver stats. Everybody wants to discredit T.O., say one thing about him, say one thing about him. But listen, at the end of the day, on the field, he was a baller. That's all that matters to me. What you doing between those lines. He never had a crazy off the field incident. Jerry Rice, T.O., he's one of those guys, man, one of the best wide receivers of all time. Has the stats to prove it, the longevity to prove it, the dominance to prove it. I'll just say this. This man had a dominant Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles on a messed up league. Imagine if he was healthy. That's all I got to say. T.O.'s a great guy. Or I have Calvin Johnson. Listen, if y'all don't know, Calvin Johnson played, 7-8 years in the league on the Detroit Lions, has over 10,000 yards, I believe. This man would have been one of the best wide receivers. No, I think he's one of the best wide receivers, but he could have possibly went down as number 1. He also, Randy Moss, was a freak of nature. That big, stronger than Randy Moss, bigger than Randy Moss, can still run fast, can still jump high, unguardable. He retired early. Wish we could have got to see his whole entire career, but he's, in my opinion, he's one of the best wide receivers of all time. Then last, for me, it was tough. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Julio Jones. I think he can go down as one of the all-time greats when it's all said and done in his career. But for 5, I had to go Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is he's a pro. He's one of the best. He's one of the best receivers of all time. He has the stats. He's Mr. Reliable. He doesn't drop the ball. He actually has more tackles than he has drop passes, if you could believe that. This man does not drop the ball. He catches everything. Mr. Pro, Mr. Reliable, one of the best wide receivers of all time. His prime was insane. Y'all remember that playoff run he had the year they went to the Super Bowl? Nobody could stop him. Larry Fitzgerald was a beast, and he definitely deserves to be an all-time quarterback. I mean, all-time wide receiver.
Yo, Kenneth.
That's good, man.
Hey, what's up with it, bro?
Man, much, man. How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, who's your top 5 wide receivers of all time?
Whew. Of all time, see, the first baddest man I ever saw was Michael Irvin. I'm gonna go ahead and put my number 1 out there. Jerry Rice, number 1. Jerry Rice is number 1. Number 4. Y'all remember Isaac Bruce?
Yeah.
Isaac Bruce, he was a bad man. I like him. Let me see. Who else? T.O.
So you gotta do
And Randy Moss. That's a list right there. That's all I got.
I definitely agree. Yep. Let's get to the next one. I know you guys know I'm going with the next one.
Where you going, man?
I'm going to give my top 5, and then we'll go to the next one. Number 1, I think all of us have Jerry Rice is number 1. I think all of us, even which I don't know where he went. Number 2, I'm going with Larry Fitzgerald. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Calvin Johnson. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Randy Moss. And number 5, I'm gonna go with Julio Jones.
Okay. I want to put Danny Amendola in there. Wes Welker, them dudes bad, bro. Them dudes are bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to leave them out, but they haven't really.
That's hard. It's not. Yeah, it's a lot of great talent out there. So, but I'm ready for the top 5 QBs. Let's go, Nate.
So, top 5 quarterbacks. I'm gonna give this to Chris first.
I just want to pay my respects to some legends that are not going to make my top 5 all-time quarterbacks. When I talk about talent, though, these dudes was also talented. I'm talking about the Randall Cunninghams. I'm talking about the Mike Vicks.
Okay.
Just talk about the Warren Moons. I'm talking about these guys who had tremendous talent. But sadly couldn't make my list, man. These dudes are great. You know, number 1, I have Tom Brady. It's hard for me to say this, but listen, we're not talking about talent. We're talking about greatest. He's the greatest, man. Has 6 rings. And what he did against the Falcons, I think, ultimately solidified that for me. You know, this man came back from 28-3 in the fourth quarter. You know, I don't hate. I recognize greatness. And, you know, after he did that, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to give him the recognition. I'm going to put him at my number 1. Now, number 2, I have Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was also great to me. He had a great career, you know, with the Colts, with Denver. I understand, you know, he won that last Super Bowl with Denver. He was hurt. The defense carried him. But at the end of the day, man, Peyton Manning's a great guy. He has all the stats. On and off the field, he's great. On the field, you know, he was a killer. One of the best quarterbacks to ever do that. Intellectually brilliant. Can dissect anything he wants to do. Great teammate from everything I heard. Number 3 and 4 is tough. It's tough for me. Number 3, I got to go that man, Freddie. Say his name. That bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Now, listen, like I said, 3 and 4 is tough for me. But Aaron Rodgers is one of the best throwers of all time. Nate, don't worry. I got one of your guys on this list, too. Aaron Rodgers to me is one of the best throwers of the ball of all time. He has the Super Bowl. You know, he has great talent around him. I feel like his team, he didn't get to the Super Bowl every year, you know, but Peyton Manning only has 2. Tom Brady has 6, but Peyton Manning only has 2. Aaron Rodgers has the Super Bowl. He has the stats. He has the arm talent. Like I said, one of the best throwers of all time, can make any single throw. And I think, you know, he's on this list. And he's only going to get – look, he's still producing 4,000-plus yards, 20-some-plus touchdowns, and he's still one of the best quarterbacks. He has years and years to go. So I think his stats are only going to improve. His legacy is only going to improve. Number 4, I have John Elway. I don't know what y'all think about John Elway.
I love John Elway.
You know, this is what I think. John Elway got him. Then you had Brett Favre come out of nowhere, Aaron Rodgers, and now you see with Patrick Mahomes. But to me, it all started with a guy like John Elway. John Elway was sneaky mobile. He can make every single throw. He was accurate, can throw on a run. I understand his team lost a lot of Super Bowls when he didn't have the best talent around him. But, hey, like LeBron, give him the man credit for taking his team to the Super Bowl, being great teams being great teams and the great teams that was also in the conference that didn't get there, who got there 4 times. John Elway. And he won 2. To me, he's one of the baddest boys ever to throw that ball. And you see what he's doing in the GM role. John Elway is the one of the greatest quarterback of all time. Number 5, I have to go with Dan Marino. No, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but listen, you talking about throwing that ball. You talk about throwing that ball. Dan Marino was one of the best to do it, man. Had all the passing stats, was a guru when it comes to passing the thing. I wish he would have got a Super Bowl, but to me, Super Bowls don't always define your legacy. I know I was saying with Tom Brady in 6, and that that one against Atlanta helped me push him, but he's still great. He has all the stats, one of the smartest to ever do it. Know how to take advantage of mismatches, know how to point things out. He's still a great quarterback. That Super Bowl for Tom just pushed him to number 1. But with Dan Marino, he does have a Super Bowl, but to me, everybody knows he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. One of the best throwers too. That's my top 5: Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, John Elway, and Dan Marino.
Let me go, please. I'm ready. I've been holding back so long.
Let's go, Mr. Freddie.
All right.
No, because I can disagree with
Tom Brady, you got to have on the list. I'm not putting no order because, like I said, you can disrespect a lot of the greats by putting in order. Tom Brady, I have on my list. Don Marino on my list. He's a bad man. And Aaron Rodgers, you know he's on my list. I mean, really. Number 4, the next one's going to surprise y'all. Might get a little heated in here. He won 2 Super Bowls for my New York Giants. Yes, Eli Manning is an all-time great.
I gotta go. Great show, everybody. I just want to say,
Eli Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks to lace it up. Yes, I said it. Peyton Manning is on there as well.
Eli Manning is trash. He's just not better than those. He's not better than 10 quarterbacks, 12 quarterbacks, 20 quarterbacks. He's expecting too many people putting him over John Elway, putting him over Marino, putting him over even Breeze. Come on now, Freddie, you're being a homer. If I wanted to make my list, I should have said Donovan McNabb, Randall Cunningham, and Michael Vick because they all have great talents. Don't mean they're great. Bro, stop. I'm sorry.
We don't have enough time to debate that, sir.
I'm not even going to debate it.
He's on my top 5.
What I'm going to do is disappear. I'm not going to debate it. I'm just going to disappear and come back.
He's my top 5. I have one more. The other one is Roger Staubach. He's the next. He's the last one on my list.
I'm not going to argue with that one.
That was better right there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Actually, can we let Nate go? Because Nate seems stressed up there.
Yeah, let Nate go right quick. I'll go last.
Yeah, Nate's stressed. What's wrong, Nate? Why don't you agree with my list?
You heard Eli Manning, Nate.
Freddie, you're lucky I didn't leave the house.
Hey, the
I mean,
Lakers back on, y'all.
Eli Manning is just basically a Jay Cutler with twice the.
You know what, man? I'm not going to let you disrespect the GOAT like that.
He's just basically a Jay Cutler with twice the series.
Yes. And I think Eli Manning might be a better leader because Jay Cutler was a terrible leader. He might be a little bit better of a leader, not the best leader, but Jay Cutler had arm talent, and then Eli Manning just won Super Bowls. But Nate,
guess what? Eli's dependable. He's always available. Never hurt.
Not dependable.
He ain't dependable, though.
So Nate, do you have John Elway on your list?
He had Odell and he choked.
Yes, I have him at number 5.
Same with me.
But
I think I had him at 4 actually, but
number 5, I have John Elway.
Who's 4?
Number 4,
I'll be right back, y'all.
number 4. I can't believe that you two forgot about this guy. Why not Steve Young or Joe Montana?
No, I'm no disrespect to Joe. There's no disrespect to Joe at all. He just didn't cut my list. All love and respect, I didn't say him with the honorable mentions, but I think everybody should have just assumed that he's one of the best honorable mentions. He's just not in my top 5.
I do have so my number 4 is Tom Brady. Number 3, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, I'm going with Peyton Manning. And then number 1, I'm going with Joe Montana.
Okay, I'm not mad at that but the only thing, I understand Joe at 1, but Tom at 4. Now, it was even tough for me putting Tom at 1. But we didn't go to the most talented. We went the greatest. He's the greatest, man. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah, even me as an Aaron Rodgers fan, I can't put him over.
Yeah, I can't. But Big Shaw ended out, man.
All right, I'm ready. I had internet trouble earlier, but I'm back now. My list may surprise some people, but number one, I'm gonna go with Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw, I had a chance to see him in person, so he's I had to put him at number one.
I understand.
And I hate to do it. It was tough. I love John Elway. He played some memorable games, some great games.
Mm-hmm.
I got him at number two. Then my boy, big head, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady, and my other boy too. I got to put him in there. Dan Marino, that's my guy.
I agree with everybody list here but Freddie's. I'm not going to argue with you, Freddie, because we can argue for an hour over it. But we don't want to rebuttal. I'm just saying I like everybody's list but yours. You said your reasons why, and I said I don't like it. We don't got to rebuttal on it because we're going to take an hour, and we don't need to do that right now. We had this.
You know what? I'm gonna just be honest with you. You know why I did that? Because I know the only person I was gonna bother was you, Chris.
Nate bothered everybody. Said Eli Manning.
Everybody. Nate said he almost left the house. Like, come on. If we're gonna be like, if we just saying our favorite quarterbacks, like I said, I would have put Mike Vick on there. Mike Vick changed the game. Mike Vick was one of the most quarterbacks of all time. He helped a lot of these guys be who they were. Their dual threat quarterback start. You had other guys like Randall Cunningham, but Mike Vick took it to a whole nother.
Oh yeah, that's a bad man. Yeah.
Bad man. And start with Chris. He said about Warren Moon. Him and all them cats back there set a new trend for the NFL.
Yeah,
let's just let that be said.
I give respect to. They started it, and these guys like Deshaun Watson, like Lamar Jackson, like Cam Newton, Pat Mahomes. These guys in this league are taking it to a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. But it all started, like I said. I'm a sports geek. You got to give respect to the history. You can't love the game without knowing the history of it. Yeah. So all respect to Moon, Randall Cunningham, Mike Vick. The list can go on and on. Joe Montana. Staubach. We're never going to give no respect. Never mind.
Man, it's just real hard. Now it's real hard to choose this list. Everybody's good. And ladies and gentlemen, I was just joking on the Eli Manning. We need Christopher Brown.
You meant
going off on the show. We need that energy. We love that energy here.
I will say this: I will not be going off on the NFL no more.
I know one thing. I do want to bring this up. Whoever made the schedule for Thursday Night Football need to be fired.
I agree.
You got to give us better games than this. Way better games than this.
Especially with no fans and all that stuff. I definitely agree.
Listen. This is my little take. This is my take on this, man. It's still great football we're watching, and you want everybody to be safe. At the end of the day, I don't know how much COVID affected you, but I will say personally affected me and my family. So if you can't, test, I will say this: everybody wants fans. Fans want to be there, but if I'm not mistaken, they said a Kansas City Chiefs fan had COVID. You cannot. It's going to be hard to test these fans before they come in here. See if they're positive or negative, then go in. I think the NFL is trying to do the best they can. And listen, man, when we see Kansas City and Baltimore, it's going to be one of the most tuned-in games, man. When we saw we saw Seattle and Patriots, that was a good game. Fans, no fans. The NFL needs great players, but these great coaches and these great teams and these great organizations, they're going to put on a great performance, man.
Yeah. And I got one more thing, too. Why Sterling Shepard not in the Hall of Fame?
Yo, let's talk about this.
I'm upset.
This dude was on pace. Jay Rice has all those stats. Sterling Shepard was on pace to be right there behind him or even above him. He had 8 or 7 great years. His stats are better than some of these guys right now that they give us love to. He got hurt right before Brett Favre really came into his own. Imagine him and Brett Favre for another 7 years, man. Do you understand how crazy this guy's stats would have been? He had a freak injury, but before that, he was a consistent guy playing all 16 games with a crazy number in that era.
I think he was
the fame. He's one of the
greatest. Michael Irvin, huh? Was he ahead of Michael Irvin in yards, I believe?
Michael Irvin might have finished above him, but he retired. I think he only played like 7-8 years. I think
he didn't play long.
Yeah, he need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. That's the problem. Like you hear what Shannon Sharp says. His brother's better than him.
Oh, I heard that.
Bad boy. So for y'all that don't know, like I said, I'm an NFL geek. I know about Sterling Shepard. If you don't know, please go look up the highlights. He was a bad man. And I'm telling you, if he would have got 5 to 6 great years with Brett Favre, when Brett Favre really came into his own, he was the gunslinger of gunslingers. His stats would be right up there with Jerry Rice.
He was up there.
And for Shannon Sharp to say that, because Shannon Sharp was a bad man.
So just
he-
how bad his brother was.
But he's not saying it because it's his brother, though. He's saying it because it's real.
Exactly.
You know, I said, man, that's bad, man. I don't know how they go by, judging how to get in the Hall of Fame, but I mean, whatever they judge it by.
Years were all-time wide receiver. He had all the stats before the injury, man. It's not like he fell off and was playing bad. He had all the stats before the injury. You gonna let? Come on, man. He deserves.
It's crazy, man.
I hope all the real ones. So I think even though he deserves to be in there, if all the ones in his generation know how much of a bad man he is, but still, he deserves to be in the Hall. I think the Hall of Fame, to me, especially in the NFL, it's only a select group of guys that get in there. I believe it's about 1% in the past 100 years. The NFL players actually get into the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, they let T.O. in.
1%.
This is going all day.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Joe.
Yeah, man. That's
be discussed. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
So we have. I'm going to give 30 seconds to everyone here. And I'm going to go first and give you an update to the Dolphins and the Jaguars game. Right now, Dolphins have this one easily, 28-7. Stay tuned later today. So I would be able to give like a post game interview with a couple other guys on the network, post game show. Chris, what's your last few thoughts?
Shout out to Deshaun Jackson. One of the best deep threats of all time. Give respect. Just shout out to D-Jack. Just wanted to say that, D-Jack, I love you. Shout out to the NFL. Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to y'all. Great show today. Freddie always says the most wildest things, and he makes me get out of character. And sometimes I don't want to get out of character. Me on this show, what I do is spit the real, I spit the facts, and I spit the stats, man. But Freddie, man, some of the things you say, I'm glad you say it, because now what you're telling me is I can say some wild things too. And I'm ending it off at this. Carson Wentz is going to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time when he retires. Since we're saying crazy things now, let's say him. And Miles Sanders is going to be the best running back in this division.
Man, yo, 30 seconds up, man.
Okay,
I was trying to be Freddie Henderson for a little bit. Say some wild things. Yeah, that's what I saw. Great show though tonight, guys.
Freddie Henderson, go.
All right. Everybody wants to tell everybody here to get show tonight. If you're watching this show, please like it, like this video, share this video, like our page, follow our page. You can see us Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. Before I go, Big Shaw, I want you to let everybody in the world know what's coming starting next Friday with you and your co-host. So please announce that when you go ahead too, my brother.
I sure will. Oh, you ready? I can go right now. Okay. I do have a new show coming on Friday. Was October 2nd. It's coming out. We're still on the name of it right now, but everything is good. But I do want to say this, NFL part. Sean Taylor is and one of the greatest safeties I ever seen play football. A lot of people, don't know about him, but he could have hit on you.
I know.
Yeah, that man was a dangerous dude. I had an argument with that man. Oh, Sean Taylor. I think, man, that man was great.
Listen.
He was great, man. This is, and to the show, another great show. We have fun with it, but we spit facts. Chris and Freddie, Freddie stuck on them Giants, but we got to find a way to get them away from that. But all around, it was a great show, and like I say, it was a great show, man. But I will say this though, one last thing: Ed Reed was better than Brian Dawkins. I will say that.
I'm not going to argue with that. Ed Reed was my guy, but listen, I will say this: we keep talking about safeties. Hey, keep this up. Every show we're gonna have. We're gonna rate all time positions. So
we're gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We can do that.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Well, definitely the Thursday. I'm gonna have some.
Yeah, it can go Troy Polamalu. We could throw him in there.
Save your list. Next week I'm gonna have the safeties, the linemen, the running backs, whatever you want, man. You're gonna hear it right here. All sports, all play, real talk.
Man, we can do that.
Yes,
we can do that.
Okay, so that's all we had. Again, like I said, stay tuned for later today. Christopher Mabry and I think J-Mac as well is going to do a post-game show after the Dolphins and the Jaguars game is over. And stay tuned for the other shows that we have, including the one that Big Shot is coming his show that's coming out soon.
Indeed.
So that's all I had. This is All Sports, All Plays, Real Talk, signing out for now.